Hello everyone, my name is Olena. I am a senior developer advocate in Aiven, and today in this video I would like to show you how you can start using Aiven for ClickHouse. You can create Aiven for ClickHouse service in the Aiven Console or using Aiven CLI or using the Terraform provider. But I'll be using the Aiven Console in this video. You can find instructions on using other tools based on your tool preference in our documentation at docs.aiven.io. To use Aiven Console for service creation, whether it is ClickHouse or any other service, first of all, you need to open the console. Over here, click on the Create Service button, choose ClickHouse, that's what we want to create today. Select the cloud provider of your choice, then go and choose preferred cloud region. I'm in Europe, so this fits. Next, select the service plan. You can choose business, startup, premium, hobbyist. I think I will go with startup today. And finally, select the name, a friendly name for your service. Click on Create Service button and the creation of ClickHouse service is initiated. It will need a couple of minutes to set everything up, and let's wait. Great, the service is finally deployed and ready for us to work with it. So it's time to explore what we've got. The service page tells you how you can connect to the service and access it programmatically. For example, if you want to use ClickHouse CLI, you'll need information from the ClickHouse native tab and using this data to enter the CLI. However, if you would like to use Tableau or Grafana, then use the information from HTTPS and gDBC. Next to the Overview tab, we have Integrations. This is where you can find solutions to integrate out of the box with your ClickHouse service, such as Apache Kafka or Postgres and other things. In the database and tables, you can add a new database and see what is currently available. So let's actually add an example database here that we will be using later for the demo. In the users and roles, you can create new users and assign them to roles. And in the query editor, you can send the queries to the server. It is convenient if you want to run queries directly from the console on behalf of the default user. The request that you run through the query editor will rely on the permissions granted to this default user. If you want to run queries from the browser from the name of a different user, you can use the Play interface available in ClickHouse. For this, use the HTTPS host, the URI, and add the play at the end. And with this, you can enter the play interface and provide the information about the user which you want to use to send the requests. However, most of the time, you will be relying on the native ClickHouse CLI to run the requests. I'm using Mac and I have a Docker container set up to have access to ClickHouse client. Your installation process might be different based on your operating system, but whatever approach you are using, once you have ClickHouse CLI installed, to use it for your service, you will need to provide certain properties. So for entering the CLI, you will need to use your host, port, username, and password of your services. By the way, don't show the passwords to anyone. I'm sharing my connection strings with you to give you a full picture, but I know for sure that by the time you're watching this video, this service will be deleted. So let's enter the CLI of our service. And we are inside of it. Time to create a table and make a couple of requests. I actually generated a simple file which I can show to you. It has a list of measurements from different devices, very imaginary devices, and we can move this data into ClickHouse. For this, let's first create a table in ClickHouse. The table is there, and now it's time to add the data. If you're using Docker container, the simplest way to bring the data is just to pipe it and tell the ClickHouse to insert the data. Note that I will be using a separate tab for this because it's outside of CLI. So we supposedly insert the data. It was quite a big file, but let's check that indeed we have the data. So let's run select count from example measurements. And we got the number of items we have in the table. Now let's run a different query. Let's get the average value for the measurement for every day of what we have the data, average by the day. So, and let me expand this. Over here, I'm using some helpful ClickHouse functions to mark the start of the day, as well as I'm using the bar visualization mechanism for a simple visualization approach. So that's it. This was an introduction to using Aiven for ClickHouse. You can find more information in our documentations at docs.aiven.io. See you next time.